Now that we've had the chance to recover from it, let's talk about Valentine's Day, more specifically my Valentine's Day. If you remember, Valentine's Day this year fell on Friday the 14th of February. I hadn't seen Chris for 3 weeks, and he was due to come to London on the Friday and we'd spend the whole weekend together. Because he planned last year's, it was my turn to come up and do some planning and figure out what we're going to do for the weekend. I booked loads of really cool things. I booked a table at a really nice Thai restaurant overlooking Green Park. I also booked us tickets to go to the top of the Shard one evening and just see the whole of London at night with all the lights and everything, and I thought that was quite romantic. And I'd also planned to go see a comedy show. So I haven't seen him for 3 weeks and I'm obviously really looking forward to him coming on Friday. He doesn't know any of this is happening, it's all a surprise. And then on Friday we Skype as usual and he tells me he's got a bit of an upset stomach. So I told him to get well quickly. Hopefully by Friday you should be able to come down. And he went, oh yeah, sure. I think later that evening he called me later to say that he was in A&E and that the pain was getting a bit unbearable. And I was like, okay, but he got sent home and that was fine. That evening his stomach got worse and he had to go back into A&E, but he went to a different one and they said that his appendix had swollen and that he needed to have surgery on it. I looked it up and having surgery on your appendix usually has a fast recovery time. We thought he'd have the surgery on Thursday, maybe get out Thursday night or Friday morning and still make the train up to London. Come Friday I was still hopeful he might be able to make it, but it turns out overnight that his appendix had burst and he would actually had to get emergency surgery and, you know, go into the operating theatre overnight. So naturally I was very worried and also very upset that I had to cancel all my plans, especially some unhelpful companies that don't offer refunds after you've booked the tickets. Thanks, Shard. So I cancelled all my plans and Chris couldn't use his ticket to come here, so I had to buy another ticket for me to visit Bristol where he was. So I spent the whole of my week off, essentially, it was my reading week, in Bristol nursing a very poorly appendixless Chris. It was quite funny actually. I turned up at the hospital, we found his ward, I was with his friend at the time and we both went in and his friend said, "Happy Valentine's Day guys," and I was just looking at Chris spewing into a bowl. He's promised to make it up to me and that we'll have a proper Valentine's Day at some point this year. A month later hasn't really happened yet, so fingers crossed we'll make it up somehow. To make it worse, his parents were on holiday at the time, so he didn't even have his parents visiting him in hospital. It's kind of sad. In fact, they landed the evening after he'd had his surgery. So when they first arrived, got back home, had a nice holiday, all relaxed, pick up their phone, well, turn on their phone, have a message from their son saying that, "Hello Mum and Dad, I'm in hospital at the moment, I've just undergone surgery." It was an exciting time and I've got to say, it's the most eventful Valentine's Day I've had, ever, so there's a plus. Anyway, I hope you had a better Valentine's Day than me and a good pancake day and whatever other days we've got coming up. St. Patrick's Day, that's another one. I've missed a lot of days, haven't I? Anyway, I will make it up to you as well.